Hello, in today's video, we're gonna do domains, meaning we're gonna set up the domains that surround the propeller, and we're gonna do this separately. We're not gonna need to um, put it with the propeller. We're gonna make sure that it is completely separate from the propeller so we can use it again and again. Okay, so go back to the SolidWorks and save as, and make sure you save it as an IGES file. And we're gonna need this to import it into the ANSYS SpaceClaim. But for now, we just save it as IGES. And in the next video, you'll see us using this. Make sure you open ANSYS now. In the component systems, make sure you drag geometry. Geometry. Afterwards, just right click and click on SpaceClaim, new SpaceClaim geometry. And while that's loading, I just want to show you guys what we're gonna do. Let's for this to load. I just want to show you guys in the Excel sheet, we have 3 domains that we need to create: the outer domain, the inner domain, and the rotating domain. In this case, we're gonna do all 3, of course, because we need them. And each one is gonna get more finer in terms of meshing, so we can simulate the airflow in these domains. So go back to your SpaceClaim. And now we're gonna start sketching. Go to design and make sure you're on sketch mode. And what we're gonna do now is create a circle from the origin and make sure you're on the X and Z plane, which should be automatically on. Go to circle and just pull from the center. And while you're pulling, make sure while you're pulling, I can just make this easier. While you're pulling from the center, we want to delete the number and put this value 279.4. So here we're gonna pull, and while we're pulling, you can click on the delete while you're holding the line you're pulling, and then click on write 279.4, enter, and this will automatically create the circle. And then make sure you click on End Sketch Editing, and this should generate a surface or enclosed surface. As you can see, it's a surface. That's what we need. And what we're gonna do now is pull. Use the pull function in the design. There's pull, and we can basically use this to specify how much we want to pull. So while pulling again, you delete the value and just put the number. So you can see how we can put from the top and the bottom, like and the values are in the Excel sheet. 20, I don't know, 20, enter, and do the same thing and from the bottom surface, so from the origin, write 20 as well. You have to do it twice, maybe it's something. So, and now we have the first disk. This is where we're gonna call it the rotating domain, where we're gonna actually rotate this in the solution. Okay. Now we want to just rename this, and this is very important to rename it to rotate, because they need to recognize, or ANSYS needs to recognize what you wanna call as a solid, or what the names are for your own liking, so you can set up things in your own way. Now we're gonna do the inner domain, and we're gonna also make sure the inner domain doesn't merge with the existing domain that we just made, which is the rotating domain. We're gonna do the same method where we go to the sketch, and we're gonna draw a bigger circle now. We're gonna go to the center and pull. While pulling, delete and put the number. The number is 533.4, as you can see. enter, and there you go. Click and sketch, and now you can see the second surface. And you can see down here, down on the bottom left, there's something called no merge. We're gonna make sure we click on it. And now when we pull, it doesn't merge it into one solid body. And we're gonna need this because what we're gonna do after pulling this from the top and bottom, we're gonna make sure that we remove the rotating domain inside. So the inner domain is literally inside. The rotating domain is inside the inner domain. First pull and write 279.4, and on the bottom pull. What's the value? Check. 508. So let's pull and do 508 from the bottom surface. Click enter. And right now we want to make sure that the rotating domain has space, and you can clearly see how we can close and open, so we can see by just ticking and unticking to make sure that what we're doing is correct. You want to again make sure that the rotating domain is deleted from the inner domain's body, so the rotating domain itself can fit inside the inner domain, as if there's space for the rotating domain. You can basically by right-clicking the surface and going to face, we can basically remove the hide the face. And right now you can see that you can also make it so it's visible as well, always visible. It's your choice. So we want to remove the rotating domain. To do so, we gotta go to combine, and it's better if you use the things on the right. Click on the solid, and then you see this cutting value, click on the rotate, and this is the final one that you want to click on. You want to make sure you click on the solid that you previously selected in the beginning, which is the second one. If you click on that, that gets basically removed, and the final thing is this new solid, and you'll see why this new solid looks different from the normal solid that we have. So now we're showing the new solid or the inner domain, but if we hide face, you can still see the rotating domain. So what's going on here? Even though it's on and off, what we've just made is space for the rotating domain to be in. So we cut the exact hole inside the inner domain, so for the rotating domain to be in. That makes sense. And we're gonna do the same thing again for the outer and the inner. We're gonna also rename this to inner, just for, again, we're gonna need to for simplicity. We're gonna go to sketch mode again and draw the final outer domain, which is the biggest domain, using the same values. Again, use the same steps by dragging a circle and then putting the value, which is 1068.8, and then end sketch. And what I've done here, which is not correct, is the fact that the sketch started from the surface. So we need to make sure that the surface sketch always has to start from the origin. So let's make sure that our basically our surface goes to the origin. Let's just cite this in the Excel to make sure that our values are supposed to be in the origin. And you can see here it says from towards the top and bottom. So these values are supposed to be from the origin, not from the starting of the inner surface or the top of the inner surface. That would make it kind of confusing. To avoid this, we're just gonna delete this surface and then make a new one by just going to sketch mode and just making sure to click onto the axis, or the y-axis, sorry, which will show the SNZ plane, which we want to draw on. So we're gonna again extrude that circle and write the value, which is 1068.8, and just sketch, and now we have it, so it's on the origin. Now we're gonna pull the values from the Excel. You can see the pull from the top is 533.4. Let's do that. And again, remember, we have this on no merge the whole time. Let's do the bottom as well. And there you go. Now we need to make sure that the outer, or now we haven't renamed it yet, the solid is removed, the inner is removed from the solid. So let's do this by selecting the solid, and we're cutting the inner. And again, we're gonna make sure we select the right solid. It might be kind of confusing because there's now 3 solids because you're cutting other things, and you want to make sure that the pink one is the one that we want. So we're gonna remove these two. We can just hide them for you to make this easier. And the one that is with pink, which shows that we need this one because this shows that the inner is being cut. And there you have it. Now we have all 3 domains being shown with the cuts inside of them, where the other domains can fit in. So we don't want anything to overlap, so ANSYS doesn't think of any problems when meshing and so on. And yeah, again, you know how to hide faces by just right-clicking the surface and then hiding it. And there you have it. And of course, if you want to unhide the face, just select the face and show all faces, and it will show all of the faces. And there you go. In the next video, we're going to be combining the propeller, but also make sure we save this and actually save it as a separate document, not the workbench itself. So click on save as and save it and rename it however you want. I'm going to just call this domain setup.